All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Early Morning Crypto Talk. Bitcoin, Brandon from Los Angeles, California. It is Tuesday morning. We are about to have another winter storm here in LA. It's supposed to rain the rest of the week. Go ahead and type in the chat box where you are listening in from, and make sure you hit that thumbs up button on the YouTube video. We've got Court Gomes from Florida. Tommy O'Doones from sunny and cold New Jersey. Lashana Robinson from Richmond, California. Linda Reuter, Graham, Washington. Stan Williams, Florida. Shane West, Chicago. As a disclaimer, I'm not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I read the news, give my opinion, share suggestion, and it is up to you to make an informed, intelligent decision on which direction you want to move into. Shauna Ross, North Carolina. Karen Grovier from Oregon. There's 4 rules I live by in the crypto space to have success. Rule number 1, education is key. Education is everything. Rule number 2, never invest money you cannot afford to lose. Rule number 3, always get your return on investment back as fast as possible. And rule number 4, where do you see yourself in 3 months, 6 months, a year from now? What are you willing to do to make that happen? Make a decision, take action, find a vehicle, and stay focused. Most importantly, do not get distracted. Now, following these rules is not going to guarantee you success, but it will at least minimize your risk. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the most that we can ask for. All right, so let's go ahead and get started this morning. So as you can see, you should be able to see my screen. What's the market doing this morning? Well, total market cap is at 132 billion. That has jumped by 5-6 billion since last night. Been a huge jump. So remember last night I said when we looked at the Poloniex chart, it was here. Remember that flat line? And then we dropped to here, and I said, I don't know. This can either go down or going to go up. That seems, obvious, right? It can only go up or down, but whichever direction is going to do a big. This time it's gone up, and it's skyrocketed within the last couple of hours. Look at this real-time chart here. Bitcoin is up 3%, Litecoin 14%, EOS 14%. This looks like most of the market has the altcoins rose. Yep, BTC dominance dropped from 52% to 51.7%. So the altcoins are making a run. Ethereum is up 7%. Look at EOS and Litecoin. 17% Binance coin. What happened there? They just shot up. Stellar, Tron, Ontology, ABBC coin. All right, let's best performers 24 hours. Engine coin 18%, Binance coin, Aurora, Litecoin, EOS. Okay, Tron 8%. Worst performers: ODEM, Bitcoin Gold, Ravencoin, not too much. So we're looking at a mini run that's happening right now. See what Venezuela adopts Bitcoin officially. Thought they were banning it because they wanted their petro, the El Petro. All right, let's take a look at some news here. Not that one. Costa Rica X, Bitcoin. Yeah, we'll go with this one. Bitcoin stuck around 4K. What is the bigger picture around the stagnant price? What is real-time price right now? 38.36. That dropped. 38.36. 24-hour high, 38.79. Okay. Post this link. Bitcoin has been loitering around the $4,000 mark for a while now, but where does this fit into the big picture of crypto's growth trajectory overall? Bitcoin's fame for volatility has not really matched reality of late, at least compared to the old days. Now we've seen a consistent resting price point of just under $4,000 since November last year, with fluctuations of around 300 either side of that. You might say it's got a bit tame these days, but despite the price stabilization, development in the space is moving faster than ever. So the question this begs is, how can we understand where we are in the adoption process? So is that it? Is the roller coaster over? Well, let's look at how these non-movement periods have been in the past. If you look at the coin's history, it has spent more time relatively stable than wildly fluctuating, and for a market dip, it's still at an all-time high. A price floor of around $4,000 is still far more than any other floor seen in the past. Before the 2017 bull run, but after the coin had its first real boom up to $1,000, Bitcoin struggled for more than 2 years to get above the $800 mark, spending most of that time well below that. We're currently stabilized at 5 times higher, still in great shape on any asset health trajectory. Price isn't the only, or indeed even a particularly good metric for measuring the value of Bitcoin. Charles Hoskinson of Cardano, speaking in an interview with the Crush the Streets, explains that there are many other signs which give an indication of where things are heading: liquidity, consumer adoption, and infrastructure. Every year just keeps getting better. I mean, we have so many on and off ramps. There's Bitcoin ATMs everywhere. What I say 2 years ago? Those of you who don't want to get in this space, you're going to get in your car, start driving around, and you're going to see Bitcoin ATMs all over the place. Don't I always say that? What did he say here? Bitcoin ATMs everywhere. I was in Mongolia not too long ago, and a camel herder had Bitcoin. So when your Mongol camel herders are buying the asset, that tells you that things are moving in the right direction. And he's right. The industry has been in overhaul for a year now and will continue to be, whilst other necessary factors, such as those outlined by Hoskinson, consumer adoption and infrastructure, as well as other ones, such as regulatory frameworks, catch up with the technology. Necessary pruning is going on, but this partial closure for refurbishment will facilitate expansion in the future. I like that concept. Bitcoin is under partial closure for refurbishment. That was all of 2018. So with all things considered, the usability, the infrastructure, crypto ecosystem upgrades, which are being implemented at the most, as well as the price, can we say that Bitcoin is really worth somewhere around $3.5 to $4,000? Of course, nobody can tell you for sure, and this is definitely not trading advice, but it appears to Hoskinson to be sustainable. I believe the real value of Bitcoin is around $14,000 a coin right now. So Hoskinson continues in the interview. You always look things like trading volume, you look into market accessibility, the news cycle, and you look into the cost of production. If you want to compare it to a commodity market like oil, there's all kinds of infrastructures which simply shut off after you get below a certain price per barrel. Those metrics give you a good indication of where the industry is at. The general signals Hoskinson mentions are fairly green right now, showing that what the industry is really waiting for is regulatory infrastructure to catch up. Once investment firms can seriously move into the space and have a framework to trade, then we should start to see concerted upward movement again, maybe. It's when the institutions are confident in the infrastructure, but they're the ones that's putting it there. Talk about double dipping. They're going to get paid billions off of creating the infrastructure, and then they're going to get paid even more billions because of the value of the coins that they're stocking up on right now while they're cheap are going to be worth more. How would you like to be able to create your own wealth? That's what they're doing here. They buy the coin when it's cheap, and then they build the system in place that's going to make the coin valuable. Talk about ultimate double dip in there. That's a good article. All right. Coinbase last night kind of talked about Coinbase was being protested against. Was that hashtag delete Coinbase? Because they bought a company called Neutrino that is doing that. Its staff or the founders of Neutrino were doing business with Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has human rights crimes like the murder of Khashoggi in Turkey. Therefore, we want to boycott Coinbase. Okay. So what did Coinbase do? What's their reaction? Well, they sacked members of the Neutrino team. The Coinbase Neutrino story keeps developing. As a response to pressure from the hashtag delete Coinbase Twitter campaign, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong has confirmed that they have sacked some of the Neutrino team who used to work for the controversial analytics firm Hacking Team. What has happened so far? For the past week, a grassroots Twitter campaign known as Delete Coinbase has been growing momentum on Twitter. It was discovered that 3 Neutrino employees had previously worked for Hacking Team. The company had been linked to providing spying software to countries which use the software for human rights abuses. So, I mean, this is a slippery slope here. They didn't do human rights abuses. They sold data. Are they responsible for how that data is used? It's like the other day, my son was watching Marvel movies because you got the latest Marvel coming out, Captain Marvel, and I'm watching Iron Man. And Tony Stark felt conflicted because his business sold weapons. Now, his intent was to sell weapons as a defensive strategy. But what happens when whoever you sell the weapons to decides to use them for evil human rights abuses, which is what happened in Iron Man. His weapons were being used against civilians. So is Tony Stark responsible for that? Is his name on the side of the missiles? It's a good question. Anyways, the CEO tweeted, "We had a gap in our diligence process. While we looked hard at the technology and security of the neutrino product, we did not properly evaluate everything from the perspective of our mission and values of the crypto company. We took some time to dig further into this over the past week, and together with the neutrino team have come to an agreement. Those who previously worked at Hacking Team, despite the fact that they have no current affiliation with Hacking Team, will transition out of Coinbase." This response has reassured some people in Twitter that Coinbase are taking their concerns seriously. However, others have criticized them for not identifying which employees they are firing. Jesse Powell, CEO of Kraken, responded with his interpretation of the Coinbase statement. Said, "Be good of Coinbase to provide a list of what former Hacking Team employees are getting fired, though I am sure they won't." And then Jesse Powell, "Yeah, and how about when?" Whole thing reads like, "We were cool with it, but you guys don't understand. Plus, all that murder stuff is in the past, so eventually we will help them transition out to be a contracted service provider instead of employees, so you stop bothering us." That's true. I agree that's going to happen. Elliptic Coinbase were wrong. Coinbase have yet to respond to the data breach, but in a statement yesterday, Elliptic, Coinbase's previous analytics firm, denied the claims by Coinbase that they had sold users' data. They said, "I have been disappointed to see reporting in the past few days which has incorrectly implied that Elliptic is distributing personal information for financial gain. Elliptic has no access to end users' personally identifiable information. Our exchange client, including Coinbase, do not provide us with any personally identifiable information about their users." Yeah, tell that to Facebook. And let's keep it real here. All those companies are selling your data. All of them are. You just don't know it. That's where they're making their money. The money is not in the product. The money is not in the membership fee. The money is not on AutoShip. The money is in the data. That's where all these companies are making a fortune, Facebook included. All right, what about Quadriga? Why am I not surprised? Nobody should be surprised at this, especially if you've been listening to me. Cold wallets reportedly found to be empty. Dun, dun, dun. $150 million mysteriously missing. Wow, we thought it was going to be sitting there. We actually thought that what they said was true, that the money they just don't have access to because the CEO died and he took the keys to the wallet with him. No. That money, I predict, that money has been gone for a very long time now. And they were hiding it. Now I'm really questioning, did this dude actually die? The plot is thickening when it comes to the aftermath of Quadriga CX's recent debacle. Now, recent reports have surfaced alleging that some of Quadriga CX's cold wallets have been found to be empty, meaning many millions worth of funds are unaccounted for. To recap, all of this began this January when Quadriga announced that it had lost access to approximately $150 million following the supposed death of the exchange's CEO, Gerald Cotton. The narrative that Quadriga's CEO suddenly passed away whilst being the sole person with access to customer funds. This set off a flurry of activity aiming to get to the bottom of this affair. Now, however, Quadriga's court-appointed auditor has supposedly revealed that the exchange's cold wallets are said to be empty. This would directly contradict the narrative that the now deceased Cotton was the only one holding the private keys to the funds. Specifically, EY recently released a report, the third one so far, into its investigation of the Quadriga fiasco. According to this, several of Quadriga's Bitcoin wallets have been found to be largely empty. Specifically, EY reportedly managed to identify 6 cold storage wallet addresses. Moreover, these were said to be empty except for 104 Bitcoin worth approximately $400,000. $400,000, isn't that exactly what that one kid from LA said he lost? Because he moved all his money into the Quadriga coin exchange and tried to cash out because he's moving to Canada. Interesting. I pay attention to numbers. These funds are said to have been mistakenly transferred to the cold wallets in a platform setting error. So the 104 Bitcoin that they actually do have was transferred there by accident. Okay. This is especially notable seeing as no information about the Bitcoin addresses had previously been released. Furthermore, it means that the majority of funds owed to customers, 26,350 Bitcoin, or around $100 million worth, are still at large. This has led to widespread speculation regarding where the funds may be located. What's more, it lends some credence to last week's report by cryptocurrency researcher James Edwards, who claimed around $90 million worth of Quadriga user funds were moved to cryptocurrency exchanges, such as Poloniex and Bitfinex. All of this makes the Quadriga debacle even more suspicious, and several industry profiles have questioned the official story. For example, Coinbase's CEO Brian Armstrong has proposed that the company may have struggled with liquidity this past January, brought about the bear market. Gerald Cotton reportedly died in early December 2018, but complaints about withdrawal issues on Quadriga escalated in mid-2018. So maybe after about a month of debate, December to January, management decided to cut losses and release a statement claiming that access to money was lost with the CEO's death. I called it exit scam. It remains to be seen how this story develops in the coming weeks as investigations into the matter continue. However, the fact that no substantial funds have been found as of yet suggests that this debacle could continue. With that being said, it is still quite possible that funds could be retrieved from Bitfinex or Poloniex with their respective assistants. Yeah, good luck with that one. However, it is still unclear whether these exchanges have even been embroiled in this scandal or not. How come they're not bringing up the wife yet? Telling you, follow the money. Dude wrote up a will a month before he died. He was, what, 30 years old? Follow the money, and where's the money going to go? Follow the widow. She knows what's up. All right. And this one is huge news. Serious U.S. retailer gets rid of Visa payments, is looking at Bitcoin Lightning Network. This is big news. Smith's food and drug stores will no longer accept Visa Inc.'s credit cards, according to Kroger. The reasoning behind the statement is that the fees are too high. Oh, so what Bitcoin has been saying, that our fees are low, is coming into place here. Companies are realizing that they'll actually save money by using this instead of Bitcoin, instead of Visa. Kroger Company is a major one in the United States of America. According to their website, they have nearly 2,800 stores in 35 states and annual sales of more than 115.3 billion. However, not the whole company will disregard the Visa. It is their Smith food and drug stores that will no longer accept the credit card company. Kroger Smith's consists of 134 stores across 7 states with over 20,000 employees. The company argues that the fees Visa have are excessive. So here's what who's blowing me up now? Something going on? Wow, really? Something happened around the world? I get blown up like that? All right. That's from multiple people. Let's see here. I say that Kroger is using Smith food and drug stores as a test. Let's roll it out there first. And if that goes well and they're saved a lot of money, we'll roll it out to all of the Kroger stores. Visa has been misusing its position and charging retailers excessive fees for a long time. At Smith's, Visa's credit card fees are higher than any other credit card brand that we accept, said Kroger Chief Financial Officer Mike Slotman. Interestingly, it will be the second company to stop accepting the credit card company following Foods Company in California. Visa even plans to increase its fees in April. Are you stupid? Sometimes you look at some executives, I say this over and over and over again. In my experience, the downfall of most companies comes from idiotic moves from ownership, getting in their own way, time and time and time again, especially in the network marketing space. So you already know you're charging high fees. You're starting to see a trend here that companies are going to cut you because of your high fees and go with an alternative source. And what's your response? Oh, we're just going to increase our fees even more. Stupid. However, these will apply only to banks and not to vendors. Well, think about this. You think the bank's going to want to settle with that? You already got Jamie Dimon running around with his JPM coin. Next, Bank of America is going to come out with their own coin. They're going to say, screw you, Visa. More than likely, they'll pass these increases onto the merchants who use their services. So instead of eating it, they're going to pass it on to somebody else. Will the Kroger stores move to cryptocurrencies instead? Cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and Ethereum are not widely used for payments as of yet, even though the U.S. prepares for a wider acceptance of cryptos by making cryptos available throughout thousands of grocery stores. Consumers do not use it much, not yet. However, it gets easier and easier, and even Argentina plans to launch 4,000 Bitcoin ATMs throughout the country. While not many famous stores, blowing me up. While not many famous stores accept Bitcoin, the community speculate if the Japanese version of Amazon, Rakuten, might accept crypto shortly. In a statement, they said that it will support all payment solutions, which may include cryptos. Meanwhile, Kroger might not choose crypto as a payment solution, but Pompliano, the co-founder of Morgan Creek, rose to the occasion. He tweeted that he will fly and meet the team to propose Bitcoin's Lightning Network as a potential candidate. Just finish up first calls with someone on Kroger digital team. World-class, forward-thinking crew. Looks like things are progressing. Today, it is possible to buy Domino's Pizza, among other products and services with the Lightning Network. Around 2 weeks ago, over 150 people were purchased a pizza with Bitcoin. a number that probably has risen by now. It is too early to know if Kroger will accept Bitcoin, but it is a possibility, and we will see how it plays out in the near future. All right, good article there. Want to keep an eye on this. How many other businesses and companies are going to start dropping Visa and then MasterCard and go on the Bitcoin way? That'll be interesting. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the news for today. Hope you learned something new. If there is anything major news, I will come back tonight for late night crypto talk. Let's see, what's the market done? Anything since I've been talking? Still at 131 billion, $3,800 of Bitcoin. So if any major news happens, I'll be back for late night crypto talk tonight. With that, you guys have a great day, blessed day. Bitcoin Brandon out. God bless. Bye-bye.